Hello, and welcome to Husky Talk. I am your host, Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. And with me today, a very special guest, one of the top running backs in UConn history, Wilbur Gilliard. Wilbur,
Hey, thanks for having me, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Yes. I believe I have hounded you for months to try to get you on, and Lenny finally got it done for me. So I appreciate it. And we wanted to have you on for a while. You just had an amazing career, and I figured we couldn't do Husky Talk without one of the best Huskies around. So that's how we got you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So I don't know originally, where are you from exactly?
I was born in New York, but I grew up I grew up in Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh, you're a Connecticut kid. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I grew up in Hartford.
Is it that where you went to school?
I went to Catholic school for 8 years.
Oh my God!
St. Timothy's Catholic school for 8 years, and then ended up going to Hall High School in West.
Oh, you went to Hamden Hall?
No, Hall High School.
Okay,
Hall High School.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, there's the two public schools at Hall, and you had Connor, which is on the other side of town, and that actually that's where Marcus Canby went for like 2 years.
Right.
Before he transferred to school in Hartford.
No, I remember Connor because I coached at Windsor for a couple years.
Okay.
And Connor beat us up pretty good. So I remember them.
Never scored more than 6 points or more than one touchdown, 6 points against Connor my whole high school career.
That makes
was tough. They had some real tough guys back then.
That makes sense. They shut me down too. I was the offensive coordinator. I ran out of ideas. I said, "You can call plays if you want." I don't know what else to do. I'm lost. Did you start playing football at an early age? Did you play at a young age?
Never organized football.
Never.
We would coming up where I was in Sands.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Capon Street in Hartford, we played a game called Fumble Tackle. Where you just basically throw the ball to one guy and everybody tried to tackle him.
Well, the carrier.
Yeah. And so all of my cousins, a few of my cousins, they were a little bit older. They played organized football.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
So they would come home and we would play these games where I was the runner and three of them were tackling me.
Yeah.
And they would always, for some reason, we had the first down marker. For some reason, they would beat me up for 3 downs. And then they say, all right, 4th down, you got a little bit more to go. And I would always miraculously get the first down. I'm thinking I'm doing good, but they were just doing that so they could keep beating me up, the whole time through.
They just wanted to keep hitting you.
Yeah, that was it.
That's funny. Funny.
And then so I had a friend of mine, Rocky. It was like 4 of us, Rocky, Tyrone, Kativo, a few other guys. We used to play football every day. And we were really competitive. So whenever we got into an argument, it's like, all right, we settled it by playing football, one-on-one. And these guys were bigger than me, especially my boy Rock. And I go upstairs with headaches every day. We back outside playing. My mom was looking at me like I was crazy. So I say all that to say, once I started playing organized football in high school, now there's a man for a man. It's 11 on 11. And as a running back, they always teach you got to beat one person. That was like so easy for me.
You were used to that.
Yeah, true story. My first carry in freshman football, I went 99 yards for a touchdown.
So you didn't play junior high or anything?
None of that.
Ninth grade?
Yeah, ninth grade. I had really strong legs.
Yeah.
I used to ride my bike from Hartford to West Hartford. Had the dirt bike was into the BMXs. So I would just ride every day. My legs was, incredibly
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, that's a ride.
That was it. Once I started playing organized ball, that was it. Met
Oh my
Steve
God.
Spagnuolo my sophomore year of high school.
The DC of the Chiefs?
Yeah,
Oh my God. He's a
yeah,
Connecticut guy. I didn't know
yeah.
that.
He was a defensive backs coach.
Oh my God. I
Met
had
him
no
my
idea.
sophomore year. He started, we're talking. Starts recruiting me. Him, myself, and Brian Gleason.
Right.
So we used to get tickets to the UConn games, and Dikembe Mutombo died today, but
I
I used to
know.
go. I used to go to the Civic Center to see UConn play
And
Georgetown,
Georgetown. Yeah.
and that's when him and Alonzo Mourning were on the team.
Yes. Yes. They
Yeah,
were forced. Oh my God. I remember that.
yeah.
That's right. That was the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I
Yep.
can't believe you started in ninth grade. I that's crazy. Because
Yeah.
I hear other alumni that I've talked to had started like at 8. I was like shocked by that.
Right.
But for the talent you had to start in ninth grade, a new sport, to learn football. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many intricacies that go into it. That's just incredible. And Steve Spagnuolo, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
amazing.
I was all-state defensive back because I play offense and
Yeah,
defense. Took defense very seriously because, my best friends on the team in high school played defense. I was,
sure.
good on offense, great on offense, but I wanted to hit people. So
Yeah.
I played D back. I won. My boy JJ. We started out playing early. JJ Sullivan. When I really got serious about football, he kind of like took me in, and I used to stay at their house. You know what I mean? During the week, didn't have to go back and forth to Hartford, so it kind of made it easy for me to stay
Right.
involved in sports. And then started
That's
getting
amazing.
recruited, and started taking football seriously. And here you go. I went
Did
to
you?
UConn just like Lenny was
Yeah.
saying because I was promised that I could play running back. I was
Right.
getting recruited by other schools for defensive back, but I didn't want to play defense. I wanted to score. I wanted to run the rock.
I was gonna say because you were riding your bike, and were you playing varsity as a freshman?
No, Hall High School,
You were JV.
Frank Robinson, you weren't even, they had no chance of playing varsity.
Yeah, they didn't. They were
So
like
kind of
they were
like,
old
yeah. And
school.
so, right. So me and my buddy JJ, we dominated
Yeah.
freshman football, but there was like no way they were going to pull us up.
Yeah.
So the following year, they're like making me, play JV. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. JV, what? I'm thinking I'm better than the running backs that are there. So that JV lasted about 2 games. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I was like scoring every time I touched the ball. And I was like, look, if I got to play another JV game, I'm going to quit. And then I started playing varsity. So that was good.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you started on varsity from your 3rd game on?
Yeah. Well, I didn't start.
You were in the rotation
right away, but I was there, and that's why, and that's when I learned to take advantage of the little bit of time that I would get. And my thing was scoring, you know what I mean? I can't describe it, but there were times where I get the ball and I don't see anybody.
Yeah.
I just see the end zone and I'm scoring. And then you watch the tape and you can see me dodging people or doing, and I don't remember any of that because you get that
just were in the zone.
Yeah, you see the end zone and that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy how that worked out.
Played a little bit of basketball too.
You played hoops? Okay.
Yeah. I was terrible, but I always tell the stories. I got some good pictures where it looked like I was doing some good stuff. You know what I mean?
That's all right.
So I embellish on the pictures and tell people I was dunking, but I was really grabbing a rebound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You lie all the time.
Yeah.
I was the 15th man on a 2-18 basketball team, so I know what that's like. But you were a natural athlete. Like you could have done it.
Yeah, I mean,
done anything.
I come from a family of basketball players and football players. So, it was just me trying to live up to what my uncles and my older cousins were doing. I have cousins played basketball, Springfield, East Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my uncle was 6'5", left-handed guard, played at Maryland Eastern Shore. Tommy Thompson. Yeah, he was awesome, man. So I had some athletes before me. So like
for sure.
Me playing football, it's like I had to be good because if I wasn't, they were going to tell me about it. And,
you hear about it.
Yeah.
You hear about it for sure from your family. Yeah.
Listen, I had a cousin, Derek. He played basketball. He went to Hartford High. So the whole family is at the game. My cousin's like 6'2", 6'3". He's good height. He steals the ball and has a fast break, and he lays the ball up.
He didn't go for the dunk.
He didn't go for the dunk. You know that my whole family in attendance, we booed him. And the coach turned around. He's looking at us like, he made this shot. We're like, no, boo.
He was afraid to dunk. That's hilarious. They booed him.
We never let him live that down. So I witnessed all of that stuff.
They're a competitive family.
Playing, and I said, look, man, I got to show out when I play.
Did you love football immediately when you started playing it as a ninth grader, or did you kind of
it was kind of easy to me, and to be honest, like some people took it a little too seriously, and it kind of turned me off.
I agree with that.
I figure, what does that have to do with this? We're playing football. We should be able to, be around,
have a normal life.
Yeah. I agree with that. So that I never had a Letterman's jacket. I wasn't into that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's I never. So
I agree. I agree with you there. Especially today when you see, especially the younger kids, the youth kids, how specialized it gets.
Yeah.
They can play one sport all year round. Like they can't play multiple sports.
Right.
They have a trainer and there's a club team, and they basically play year round for one sport, and they take it way too seriously. And I coached at the college level. I coached at Holy Cross and Dartmouth, and we'd be in meetings all night, and I'd be like, football's not that complicated. Like, I know what they're going to do. We have a game plan. Watching the film for the 10th time isn't going to change what they're doing. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
We know what we're going to see. We know what we're going to run. Like, we're just here. It's like just busy work. It used to drive me nuts. But I totally agree with you that it just got taken way too seriously.
Yeah.
Did you get recruited naturally? Like, were coaches coming in and out of your school, or were you sending out tapes? Okay,
definitely they were coming. I was in the newspaper like every day.
Yeah, you must have been in.
I never sent out one recruiting tape.
Oh my God!
I mean, people would call and request information. Well, my high school coach, Jay Catone, he had some college experience. He knew some people. But like I said, Steve Spagnuolo was the first one to reach out. So we kind of had a natural relationship. So when everybody else started recruiting me,
he was
there. Kind of like, I was comparing everything to Steve. He was the barometer. And Steve didn't talk to me the way these guys did. You know, it wasn't about promising. It was more so, how you doing? How's your day? How's your mom doing?
It was personal.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't even realize I was being recruited until other people came into the picture. You know what I mean? It felt like he was just kind of looking out for me and telling me to kind of take this seriously. You might be able to do some things with it down the line. And I remember when I committed to UConn, Rhode Island, Syracuse was recruiting me. I called URI. The guy hung up the phone on me like,
they get pissed.
I'm like, I just went to UConn. I think he's like, click. Just like, hey.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, but back then the big thing was the recruiting letters, you know?
Yes.
And I had like
Stacks.
shoeboxes and that stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a big deal. I wish I saved it, but like I said, I threw all that stuff out.
You know? Yeah, you were into that. They sent so many of those out. And I remember back then they actually had to type everything and lick it and mail everything
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Crazy. Did you take any visits? Like, did you see Syracuse? Did you go out? No.
The first trip that I could make, I went to UConn.
It was UConn. Okay.
Right. So interesting thing about my recruiting trip is Jamal Davis and Jason Appleby were my hosts.
Yeah.
I didn't leave with my mom. I stayed on campus. I didn't go back to
the hotel
high school until Monday morning.
Oh, they kept me on Monday. That's awesome.
I went home Monday morning, got to school on time.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And if you get Jamal or Jason Appleby on, they'll tell you I had already made friends there. So they never locked their door. It's spring weekend comes, but they come in the room and like I'm sitting in their room, they're looking like, "Are you kidding me?" The phone rings and I pick up the phone, like, "Yeah, I'll be right down." They're looking at me like, "This kid is." So I was in UConn before I was in UConn. Man.
Yeah. And see, like I'm from New York, so when they were recruiting me, like I didn't even know they had a football team, which was crazy.
Right.
And
yeah.
So you were going from that's crazy. You were probably going from a young age. You were going to be the basketball team.
There were older guys at Hall, like Steven and Jason Seabolt. These are like big, huge guys.
Yeah.
They went to UConn. So I knew UConn had a football team.
And
just being there, Tate George hitting the shot, just being local.
Yeah.
I knew about UConn having a football team, so I wasn't really unfamiliar with me.
I mean, did you want to stay close to home? Did you want to stay in Connecticut if you could?
I just wanted to get out of Hartford.
You want to get out of Hartford, yeah.
And then, the 90s were absolutely bananas in Hartford. That's when the gangs were like,
it was rough.
It was between all the gangs that you had there, so when I went to UConn, like I could have been, it felt like Stores was like hours away from Hartford because I didn't go home, my friends wouldn't let me come home.
Yeah, it was smart.
You know what I mean? Like I have a friend of mine that I went to high school with. I won't mention his name, but he just came home about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Between the last 5 to 10 years. And, I graduated in 1991. So
right.
Imagine the time there. So, but these guys always protected me, always kept me safe, kept me out of trouble.
Well, they knew you were special, I think.
Yeah, and they knew my mom wasn't going for it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, I had, my cousins had reputations, so like, I was good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you commit on your visit to UConn?
Yeah.
You committed, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you stayed an extra day. You stayed the Sunday.
I stayed an extra day. I actually went up, went to summer school. To start early, like they have the summer school program.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And that was like amazing because
that's huge.
Be on campus early.
Yeah.
Our summer school camp coming in. So most of the guys that were on my recruiting trip committed.
Right.
Like that was like the class of that recruiting trip was the core of our class. Like we all committed.
Right.
Myself, I met Eddie Long on a recruiting trip.
Yeah.
His parents and my mom, got close on the recruiting trip. You know what I mean? So even though like we competed, like we had a bond from the beginning that wasn't going to be broken. You know what I mean? Like in school. So it was like me, him, Monte, Lamont Parker, Henry Thompson. You know what I mean? Justin Stanko. You know what I mean? Brian Gleason, like all of us who stuck together, like from
that's a class. I didn't know there was all the same class.
Yeah, all the same class. And my freshman year was the first year of the big All-American recruit from basketball. So that you had Kevin Ali, Rudy Johnson, who was Mr. Basketball in Florida, Donnie Marshall, and Danielle Marshall.
Danielle Marshall, right?
Yeah, and then Tambu, Willingham, all of these girls. Like we all came in together.
That's when everything started to turn around, right?
Rebecca Lobo, all of them. That was all my freshman year. Jamel Elliott, like everything. So, you know, we were there when we used to go to the women's basketball games, and you would get in with your school ID.
Yes. Yep.
You didn't need a ticket.
You didn't need a ticket. Yeah.
We sit all the way up in the top. You know what I mean? Have fun, and then by the time our senior year, lines were around the door, man.
No, I know.
We had to sneak in, you know, but I knew how to get in the gamble.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. You could go in through the back. You remember what a football locker room was?
Yeah.
That door was always open. You just go downstairs and, you know what I mean, go through there.
Walk through.
Yeah, like
wow. Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, you were really there for the rise of UConn athletics because you were there. 100%. You were there with Coach Jackson, right?
Coach Jackson, yeah. We had Coach Jackson, and then Skip came later.
Okay, so you were there for Skip.
Yeah. I was there, I was there for 2 years at Skip.
Did you redshirt?
I redshirted, yeah.
Okay. Did they tell you were going to redshirt?
I wasn't ready to play.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't ready.
So you knew that.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie Long didn't. Eddie played freshman year.
Okay.
But Eddie came in like a specimen, dude. Like,
yeah, I heard about it.
Come on, man. This dude's like ripped.
Well, I heard about the three.
He had like a body like Michael Johnson to crack that star. Like Eddie was athletic.
No, I heard it.
Level, man.
I heard between you, Lenny, and Eddie, like it was just wow.
Yeah.
You had such a great backfield.
Yeah,
and everyone brought different things to the table. And it like Coach Jackson was like one of the first guys that kind of did a running back by committee where he would use everyone and everyone had a role.
There was like different colored jerseys that we used to wear.
Yes, right.
So the yellow, green, and then blue.
Right.
And the three of us had blue jerseys.
Right.
So it was good to be in a blue jersey, but I didn't like being in a blue jersey. I want them to tell me that I'm not starting. Like, don't play with me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But again, we were so close that it was hard to really complain. You just kind of had to get in where you fit in.
Yeah, you were close, but you were competitive too because you still all wanted to be the best.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. 100%.
How did they rotate you? Did they rotate you by series, or did they just like kind of go with the hot hand?
It was so random, man.
It was random. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you say hot hand. We played James Madison. I think I had 5 touchdowns, and maybe like 11 or 12 carries.
Yeah.
So like there was no hot hand. Like I was scoring.
You had the hot hand.
I was scoring every time I touched the ball, but they still were pulling me out of the game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then even then I could have had another touchdown, but you know, they called the guys in, and Jerome, you know, he called the play for me, and Jerry was supposed to be blocking. So he's like, "Oh, let me get this one." So I let him get it. But like, you know, that eats me up to this day because like that could have been a 6 or 7 touchdown day. You know what I mean?
Well, you had the record for most touchdowns in a single game for forever. I remember.
Yeah, man. Yeah, could have been more.
That's just so crazy like that it was rotation. But when I remember, I had heard from your generation, they had already been talking kind of about going Division I in football. Well, was that mentioned to you?
Yeah.
Wow, that still blows my mind.
That was mentioned to me. I was, you know, Lou Perkins was a very intimidating person.
He was.
But, you know,
he was very nice.
I would go to the office all the time, and there was a sweet lady there named Pat Babcock.
Patty B, of course.
Patty B, you know what I mean?
And got the checks, yeah.
And it was like every time I would see him, like I would be in her office, he'd come in and talk, and he's like a completely different person.
Yes.
Around her.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got to, I got to see a different side of him.
Right.
100% respected him, but I knew he was cool and had a heart because I used to see him interact with
Patty.
Babcock. And she was a sweetheart, you know what
She
I mean?
was, yes.
So we got our money, you know what I mean?
She had those checks. I used to love it.
Yeah, but she
Time to get the checks.
Yeah, she held no punches, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Because I couldn't believe that either. Because I talked to you, now talking to you, I talked to like Shane Stafford, I talked to Carl Bond and Lenny, and I just couldn't believe that going back that far, they had started already discussions about
definitely 100%.
Division One.
Yeah.
And then, by the time I got there was when it finally happened.
Right.
I didn't know that it was like promised, and it took years and years and years.
So let me ask you a question. Was the library finished when you were there, or were they still working on it?
They were still working. It got finished. It got finished when I was there. They were still working on it.
On my recruiting trip, like it was just like the biggest eyesore.
Yeah.
And where they were talking, it was like it was going to take a few months, to get that done.
Yeah, it took years. There was construction everywhere, and that's why, like, I went back. I went back a few years ago for the first time, and it was like unrecognizable. Like,
they have no idea how lucky they are.
I like it's a real college now.
Yeah.
Like I got lost. Like I didn't know where to go. It was so different. Like, now with the football facility, obviously the basketball facility, now they got volleyball, they got hockey. Like they've done so well with that. And I just hope they can keep it going.
Listen, I know for a fact that it has a lot to do with women's basketball.
It does. Of course.
To be right there and to see how that thing turned the corner.
Yeah.
And they just started dominating, and he just snatched college basketball away from Coach Summit. Like Gino snatched away from Coach Summit. Was amazing, man.
He did.
Amazing.
He did.
It was good to be there and be a part of it.
He did. And
Nikisha Sales from Bloomfield.
Right.
No,
for sure.
He continued that level. It was like after they won, they had Nikisha, All-American, right from Bloomfield, and you got the rest of the All-Americans behind it.
Yeah.
But she started that, the big time high school All-American recruit.
You're right, because I keep forgetting women's basketball won the national championship first before the men, and that's really kind of what spearheaded everything.
And there was tension because Calhoun ran in Connecticut.
Oh, I know.
And they tried to make comparisons.
Always they did.
If the women would beat the men, and you could just see his face steam up when they would ask him that question.
Yes, it would always be that, or it would always be if they switched. If Gino coached the men and if Jim coached the women, how would they do? That would always be the questions asked. And I don't think Jim could have coached the women. There's no way. Jim would have had a meltdown. But I mean, so you redshirted, and I mean, you played pretty steady all 4 years. I mean, and you put up great numbers, and you had been you were the leading rusher in UConn history for a while. And everyone had told me, like, you didn't have like breakaway blazing speed, but you ran hard, you ran physical, and you ran through people. And that's what made you successful.
That's what I have been doing since I was a kid.
That's
what I said. So,
making one guy miss.
I wasn't going to outrun all of my friends. You know what I mean? So even if I'm fast, I'm never going to be the fastest guy out there. I mean, some of these kids I played with, like, were just amazing, but it was about getting to the end zone.
Yes.
And my thing was angles. Always knew I may not be faster than you, but I can get to that end zone because I can dictate how you're going to chase me.
Right.
Well, there was a lot of run. I had longer touchdown runs than guys that were faster than me.
You did.
I had, Eddie Long he had track speed.
Yeah.
But on the field, It's
different than the
different,
game speed.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
So,
no, I remember watching you. I remember watching.
That was my thing. Run. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the end zone. Like that's not the problem.
But like just the, I mean, like the way I watched you run, it was like old school Christian Okoye power running.
Well,
just going through people.
My running back idols growing up were Earl Campbell.
Yep.
Franco Harris. Yeah, Billy Sims. So I've got pictures of me. I mean, we as kids, we would play like right in the fall when all the leaves were falling. We'd be playing ball in the street, and the touchdown was the leaf pile. Yeah. We always had somebody standing in front of the leaf pile. So when you got there, you had to jump over the person that was in front of the leaf pile or run them over into the leaf pile. And that was how we scored. Right.
That's crazy. So that's that's how you ran.
Putting pads on. I mean, we would do this when there's snow in the street.
Yeah.
You know, and then sometimes we would play in the street and like out of bounds was like literally a car. So you get pushed into the car, was slammed. I mean, that's what we did, man.
I got you.
So a helmet and pads, I didn't mind.
You didn't need them, yeah.
Yeah, I was good.
I have to mention our sponsors at Parseghian Partners. Parseghian Partners, your full-service financial firm. President Sean Rabinowitz provides exceptional results for his clients and is a proud supporter of Husky Talk. So go to Parseghian Partners for all your financial needs. That just watching you run and the way and the style that you ran for that time, and it fit the offense that Coach Jackson ran. I mean, it was downhill, in your face, physical. And I think you had, did you have one or two 1,000-yard years? Because I know you split carries.
Yeah, I split carries. So I only had one 1,000 yards.
You had one, right?
I had 979. I think a 9 and some change my first year. And my sophomore year I did well, but my junior year I got hurt, and my senior year I got hurt.
Right.
And I never really had so watching these guys play now, and some of the guys that broke my records, the only thing I would say is I would feel envious that they actually got a whole season.
Yeah, with all the carries.
Yeah, to get all the carries in and be the feature back. But
your single season record is still in like the top 6. I know that, and your yards per carry is still in like the top 5.
Yeah.
And your total rushing is in the top 10. So I mean,
the total rushing touchdowns, I still have that.
Yes, that you do. Yes. So I mean, those are tremendous accomplishments.
I wish I would have known you was going to have Shane on. You got to talk to these guys about my intramural basketball.
Oh, okay. I will.
Yeah, I was like a great GM. You know what I mean? I used to have the crazy intramural basketball team. So Steve Emp, who ended up playing for UConn and ended up getting paralyzed later. He was at UConn. He transferred from Army. And before he tried out for the basketball team, he would be in the gym playing ball. And you could not move this guy. Like, he was a beast. Like, it was just like, who the heck is this?
Yeah.
He's you know who Steve is?
No, I don't.
He's actually in the Michael Jordan documentary.
Oh,
the guy in the wheelchair. Yeah, like he had an accident in college and he ended up being paralyzed. But Steve, we used to play intramurals against him like all the time, and play ball in the gym. And then he ended up playing for the team. Ended up being really good friends with Scott Burrell.
Okay.
And in the documentary, you see him and Mike talking. Mike took a liking to him. He's a really good, cool guy.
I will definitely ask Shane. I do another show with Shane.
Yeah,
I will be sure. I will be sure to bring that up.
Yeah, ask him about my skills, my basketball skills.
I will. Because Shane was a basketball guy too. He loved basketball. He would have loved to have played basketball, but he knew his calling was football, and that's where he excelled.
Listen, little Pup was he has the balls on him, man. I like
He
Pup.
does.
I loved him. Man. And when he came in, when Zeke got hurt, he came in, and everybody's mouthing off in the huddle, and I just shut everything down. I told everybody, like, basically, shut up. This is Shane's huddle. I don't want to hear a word out of anybody else's mouth. And Shane looked at me like, gave me, like, what's up? And afterwards, thanked me for it. But, I loved his attitude. Coaches used to love to try to scream at him and get on him. And they just roll right off his back. And I love that about him.
He didn't give a fuck.
Because he was a gamer. It's not about he wasn't a big talker. He was a good, really, really good dude.
Really smart. Where to go with the ball. Read defense as well. Yeah,
I appreciated him from day one, man.
He told me that every opportunity he got to play was because of an injury of some sort.
Yeah.
And he would do well and he wouldn't come out. And that's how he succeeded. Even playing arena ball, NFL Europe, whatever. He said that, he would never be the starter, but then once he got his opportunity, he always made the most of it, and then that was the end of it, and he took control.
I think Shane knew Danielle from high school as well.
He did. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he did. He did. He talked about that because he wanted to play basketball. But yeah, he did mention that. What did you end up majoring in UConn?
I wanted to be a business major, but I ended up just doing all the regular political science.
Yeah, you were like us. It was just major.
Yeah, you know what happened? I did very well in summer school, right?
Yeah, that was the only time. Yeah,
I'm signing up for classes, and I'm not really listening or taking anybody's advice.
Yeah, for what you need for each major, right?
Dude, I get in these math classes, and because of my test, and then I got these Indian teachers that are like, I can barely understand
a word they're saying.
Like the first day of class, and we're on like chapter 3 already. I'm like,
I was lost too. I was lost. It was always stats class.
Yeah, so it took me a while to adjust to that, and then obviously the lifestyle up there. So
no, we were the same way. It was sociology, like poli-sci. And then they had HDFS. Everyone called it you majored in graduation.
They were
trying to get you out of there. They wanted to make sure you graduated and got you out of there. So you graduated. Where did you go from there? Did you end up staying in Connecticut?
I ended up staying in Connecticut.
Okay.
I had a few opportunities to leave, do some other things. I actually Mr. Perkins had called me up to actually work to come back to school.
Oh, wow.
And get in the master's program to help bring UConn to that next level. But Coach Holtz was still there.
Ah, okay.
I didn't want any parts of him.
You weren't a Coach Holtz guy?
Nah.
You were one of the few that everyone loved Coach Holtz. You were one of the few that didn't like Coach Holtz. Everyone was worried about him leaving.
And look, I'll tell you, like, I know he had to have his favorites or whatever, but just like you said, like, if you look at me or you look at my measurables in the gym and the weight room, you would say, oh, this guy, can only do this. You put me in a box. But I always felt like you had enough game film and you had enough of, as far as my toughness, to give me the respect to stay at tailback. When he put me at fullback, I really took that as a sign of disrespect.
Wait a second. He put you a fullback?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I got hurt.
Oh, I did hear that. That's right. Because he wanted to run that option.
Had me with my feet, my hand in the dirt, 3 yards from the center. I can't see anything,
I can't. That's right. They did tell me that. I totally forgot about that. They told me that he came in trying to run the Notre Dame option.
Yeah.
And they put you at fullback. And I was
Right.
like, they got to be out of their mind to do that.
And so my thing was, little did he know, I read the book Under the Golden Dome that his father wrote.
You did, really?
Yeah, dude. So he actually, when he came, he was like quoting stuff verbatim from that book as if it was like.
Yeah, he didn't know any better. So he was using
like he's thinking, right. And then, he told a story about Eddie Long at the orientation that really was a story that his father told about Rocket Ismail.
Oh, that's awful.
The thing about him playing tennis, but he's so fast, he's like playing tennis by himself.
I don't like that. That's awful.
So my boys, they call me like, yo, we're just at the orientation. This guy's
that's
They know Eddie didn't play tennis, you know what I mean? So to me, like,
that's fake.
Everybody has their own experience, but I have mine.
Yeah. No, that's messed up. I thought it was messed up when I heard about it. When I heard that they moved you to fullback, because you don't.
After my most productive year.
You don't.
Eddie and I could have still split the tailback position.
Yeah,
me to fullback.
You worked great together.
Yeah. So now I'm competing with Ed Nook, who was my fullback.
Right.
He moves me to fullback. So now Schuman's going over to defense.
Yes.
Like a million fullback, and I love playing with Schuman.
Yeah, Schuman loves you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we were close, He
was the one who gave me your number. He loved you.
You know what I mean? Like, we had a bond. I love playing with him. So
no, he loved fullback too, and he would have loved to have stayed. But that's right. He told me about that.
Yeah.
So you had an opportunity to stay on. You didn't. Where did you end up going after that?
Oh, I ended up working for Liberty Honda.
Oh, you did. You were selling cars. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what's funny?
You're probably great at that.
I was just right. I was there with a friend of mine. The general manager saw my resume on the dashboard of the car. This dude starts talking to me like he's walking me around the dealership and asking me how much money, this job that I'm going to interview is paying and blah, blah, blah. And then he basically tells me, look, this is your desk, man. I'll see you back here on Monday. He goes, I guarantee you'll make twice as much money as you're going to make at that other job.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And dude, it was the best thing I ever did. My mom and dad.
You must have loved it.
No, they hated me. They're like, you're selling cars,
No, but you loved it, I'm saying.
Yeah, I loved it. But then when my mom came and she saw how much money I was making, she kind of left me alone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great job to have.
Yeah.
You gotta know what the hell you're talking about. And the biggest thing is connecting and forming those relationships with people.
With everybody.
Earning their trust.
Listen, there's no sales job that I've ever had that's like it. All the training, all of the tricks of the trade, all the things that I learned selling cars. It's like,
if you can sell cars, you can sell anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was, so. And then I went off to work and do cell phones and things like that. So, and now I'm in New York.
Okay, so you did cars, and then you moved on to cell phones.
Right. So, so I started working at Sprint. This is when Sprint PCS first opened up.
Yeah.
I used to work at a moving company. We used to work at Nationwide in the summertime.
Yes, they still do that.
So, but you know what we were doing at Nationwide?
No.
We were converting the analog towers to digital. So we were up in the sticks in the mountains with these cell phone towers, taking out all of the analog and then going back and installing the digital equipment.
Oh my God. So you knew it was coming.
Like analog,
digital,
going back and forth. So I did all of that.
You knew it was coming.
The job at Sprint.
Yeah.
But it was digital. So I'm going to tell you the marketing genius that I was. The quota was like something small, like 30 phones.
Yep.
So I was selling 30 phones
In
like
a week.
in like a week. So then I started doing marketing. So Ray Allen, Richard Hamilton, I got him his first cell phone. Nikisha Sales. I'm doing these autograph signings. So I
Oh,
would
you were
get them
smart.
to come from campus, do an autograph signing in the store.
Yeah.
And then,
They
so
buy
when
the
I
phone.
did that, I couldn't really pay them, but I would get them company cell phones that they could use. And back then, cell phones were extremely
Very
expensive.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you were
Extremely
getting them
expensive.
phones.
And then what would happen was all the phones that was sold that day that were better than everything over the average went towards my commission.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
That is brilliant that you were able to do that.
Yeah. So
That you had the mindset.
Yeah, I'm still connecting the dots with stuff that I do right now. That's why I have my own marketing company now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did that, and then is that when you started your own marketing company?
Yeah, well, I started my own marketing company a few years ago, but after that, I ended up shutting down the cell phone company because I had a bad partner.
Yeah.
So shut the cell phone company down. I was gonna go work on not on Wall Street, but in Philadelphia for a stock, company that was in the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
The World Trade Center blows up, and I went for my final. I had my final interview set up at the end of September.
God.
So this is in Philly. So I'm not putting two and two together. I'm still getting mail about the interview. Dude, I go to Philly to the office where I was going to be working. I go upstairs and I come off the elevator and there's one lady in there and she's just like bawling. She's in tears. She's like, "Who are you? How can I help you?" And I'm looking. She's like, "Everybody's gone."
Yeah, they're all gone. Oh my God.
A lot of them were in New York. Like everybody's dead. I don't know what to do. And I'm looking at her like,
I've been getting letters for months. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. So I just packed up, moved to New York. I left Connecticut, came to New York, and I've been here ever since.
New York. Okay. So you're in the city.
Yeah, I'm in the city now. Yeah.
Okay. And you do marketing.
Yep.
Okay. Do you do
I'm in the healthcare space as far as
healthcare. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I work with urgent cares, primary cares, different doctors and specialists like podiatrists and things. And then I do health fairs, senior centers. So it's
like with health insurance too, or no?
No.
Okay.
I just provide the services and connect the doctors with the patients, and they're kind of squeezed in between there.
Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
Past 10 years.
10 years. Okay. And you like it? You like
I love it.
Do you love the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my wife's ready to get out of it. She can't stand the city. So.
Yeah, the city's tough.
I love it though, because in Connecticut, everybody knows you. I would come home and be like, hey, so and so saw you earlier today. I'm like,
you're a legend in Connecticut. You're a legend. Nothing you can do about that.
That. I love the anonymity that New York brings.
What do you think of the state of UConn football right now?
I think they're going in the right direction, man.
We're trying to,
We're tapping to the right people. Get some of these big guys from the South, man. You got to start bringing them to that farm.
Yeah, I know.
Showing them what's out there, man. Like the agriculture and everything that's there, like is bananas, man. Like, so I think if we tap into the right recruits, get the show the right guys that place, I think we can get things going. I'm kind of upset with Randy Edsel because he left, man. He had a lot of momentum.
I know.
That stadium would have like probably 50,000, 60,000.
It was sold out. It was sold out for years.
Yeah.
And they had plans because it could have been expanded to 60,000. And once he left, the
Well, that's
wheels
how they
fell
built the
off.
stadium.
Right.
They built the stadium
to
in
make it
effort
60.
Right, so they can build up and make it 60. But I mean, he should
No.
have looked at Gino and Coach
Calhoun.
Calhoun.
I know.
I mean,
No, believe me, I know.
Man, Gino built that thing, and look at it, man. Look at what Coach Calhoun did. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
I believe me, I agree with you.
With no professional sports team in Connecticut, you gotta take advantage of that, man.
I believe you. I had him on the podcast, and he was candid about it, and he didn't have the best relationship with the athletic director, with Jeff Hathaway at the time.
Yeah.
And Connecticut was raising its academic standards to get kids in. So he didn't think he was going to be able to get the recruits that he needed to continue that success.
And Jeff Hathaway was the assistant AD on the Lou when I was
Correct. But they never got along. He never got along with Hathaway.
Well, you know why? I think Lou was a tough act to follow.
Of course.
Because he didn't take anything, so I don't know if Jeff was just standing his ground and trying to be a
he was tough. Yeah, he was tough. He was tough.
Well, he was
I can't fault him because he got double or whatever his salary. He took his shot. He knew that he was at the pinnacle. He didn't think he was going to be able to consistently win at UConn from there on out. So he took his shot. He went to Maryland. He got his payday.
But look, I was loving those times, though, man.
Those were the best times. When it
was hard to get me to go to a game.
Yeah,
because I was enjoying watching them so much on TV.
They were.
Just hearing announcers talk about UConn.
Yeah,
it's just like as a former player, that was like the best thing for me. Just like to be able to watch UConn on TV, ABC or major network,
ESPN
was like that was everything to me, man. I was turning the TV up loud. I mean, just to hear them talk about UConn. So
we were bigger than basketball at one point. We were bigger than basketball. Which reminds me, Mike Burton is doing all he can for our NIL collective, Bleeding Blue for Good in Stores Central. We want to continue to win and have success in all sports. He raised $1.5 million and he did it with 10 donors. I refuse to let him do that alone. So we are going to do all we can to help him. If you can, go to the website, bleedingblueforgood.org or storecentral.com. Give to football whatever you can. He's not looking for the $10,000 donations. He's not looking for the $5,000 donations. If you can give $200, if you can give $500, we just need more people giving instead of relying on 10 people. And if we can do that, we can get continued success. Because what we're seeing on the field now is the result of the work Mike put in. Every player, from the quarterback to the receiver to the running back, they're on NIL deals, and they're going to have to continue to get paid. And for us to have continued success, we're going to have to keep raising money and keep raising more money. So Bleeding Blue for Good and Store Central are essential for our success. So anyone who can, go to the website, Bleeding Blue for Good. You get a tax exemption. Store Central, it's $10.99 a month, and you get insider information. And that is what he is one of our sponsors now. We are going to try to help him out. He's been on the show a few times, and God bless him. He whenever he's been asked, he answers the call, and he'll donate. And he started the collective. We had nothing before this. And now we're seeing it pay off. And I think if you've watched the last few games, like this team can get to, I think 8 wins isn't out of question. I think, 6 would be the minimum, right? I think, I think we can beat Temple next week. They're going to have a bye week after that. Then they have Wake Forest. Will be the tough game. Then they have like UAB, Georgia State, Syracuse, and UMass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can win, if they can get to the 8 wins, they're going to win in basketball. They're going to win in women's basketball. They've been successful in baseball. They've been successful in soccer. That will get us into a conference, because I don't think we can survive in this environment without getting into a conference.
No, we need to
right.
That 100%.
Yeah. I think Big 12 or ACC, we have to get into one of those, because we're missing out. We can win 3 national championships in basketball, and I hope we do. But the problem is the money isn't there in basketball. The revenue is in football.
So where are you guys on are they building something on campus?
No, they're not building something. Bleeding Blue for Good is the website. So you go to the website, and then you can pick which sport you want to donate to.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, as far as a stadium, are we getting a stadium?
No. The stadium's staying where it is. Believe me, we want it on campus. We all wanted it on campus, but everyone complained about 195 that there'd be too much traffic.
Yeah, that's
and they're like, there's gonna be traffic. There were traffic for basketball games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
No, I agree with you.
I don't think stores can handle that.
I mean, they bus the students to the games,
right?
And it's doing better now. And as you know, winning cures everything.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
So they've had two good wins in a row: Florida Atlantic, and they beat up on Buffalo. If they beat up on Temple this week, they'll go into the bye week 4-2, which is huge.
Yeah,
and then from there, I really think Wake Forest will be a coin toss. They should be able to beat Georgia Southern. They should be able to beat UMass. Syracuse will be tough, and then I think they'll beat UAB. So 7 games, 7-5, 6-6 would be the minimum.
Bowling, man. We need to go bowling.
Yeah, we need to go bowling. We need to go bowling. But the talent has been upgraded significantly. When I got to watch the game Saturday, and the running backs they have, the receivers.
Those guys are nice, man.
Yeah, Skylar Bell, Sheffield, the quarterback. I hope he's okay. Evers, Cam Newton, Cam Edwards. But now that we have the NIL money, that's why we're starting to have success. So that's why it's been so important. And that's what Mike said. Mike said, we did this with 10 people. He said, if I can get everyone to donate $200, he said, then we got a chance. Then because we need to get $3 million for next year. We had 1.5 for this year. To keep the players that we have, they're going to want more because they've been successful. And to bring in, the transfer portal, which Coach Moore has been doing a good job with, and freshmen. So that's why it's big, and that's why I told him with the podcast, he's sponsoring the podcast, and we're going to try. Dave Schuman and myself are going to try to help him raise donations.
Send me some information. Send me a text with some.
I will. If you can donate, I would appreciate it. That'd be awesome.
Marketing, I can figure something out.
Yeah, we're you're probably the right guy to talk to. So, I would like to talk to you eventually, because we're trying to figure out the best way to monetize the NIL deal and the NIL stuff. And the podcasts are great tools for it, but we need, I think, alumni events, different things, because marketing and sales, different things that we can do to offer the alumni so they have an incentive to donate. That's the biggest thing that's missing right now. Okay. We have very, very poor alumni engagement. Like, has anyone called you and asked you to come to a game, asked you for a donation? Do they interact with you?
No, not NIL wise. I ask for money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. But I mean, does the football alumni, do they contact you? They invite you back to games?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Coach,
they do.
yeah.
Good.
Coach Baylock that's my man. I keep in
But
touch.
Baylock's the best.
I
Yes.
keep in touch with Kevin Freeman as well. So
Freeman, good.
K Free is
Okay.
always one text or call away.
Good.
If he does, if I don't get him right away, he always responds.
Yeah.
Also, too, Phil Hunt, who I played with.
Yes, Phil's in the president's office.
So yeah, so
are you going to come
talk?
up?
Because I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a few of my clients. I have a client of mine.
Good.
A marketing company who I think might be able to offer some assistance.
That'd be great because that's
projects and investments with the NIL.
That's what they need because Coach Baylock's great.
Yeah.
He's just not great at like managing the money, the NIL stuff. Yeah. So that's why Mike Burton's been doing it, and he's been doing a great job with it.
And my guy could probably talk directly to Mike.
That'd be perfect
because he's a numbers guy. And
perfect.
We've got tons of products and things that we're pushing, so we could probably make the NIL a part of that, so that the NIL is actually
a great idea.
Making some money over the years.
I'll tell you what, Mike would love that. So I'll text you and I'll talk with you about that because the more help he can get, the better. And that sounds like a great idea. Are you going to make it out, you think, to any games this year?
Yeah, I just went on Saturday.
For the captains.
Yeah, they honored the captains, and I'm trying to come back for homecoming.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, because I was with my
I'm going to come for that.
Yeah, I was with my wife and my son.
Okay, good.
And so I want to come back and hang out.
Awesome.
She won't let me drink or anything. So.
That's all right. No, because I'll go to homecoming too. So I'll meet you. But I'll send you some of the information on the NIL stuff, and then I'm going to talk to Burton. And if it's okay with you, I may just give him your number.
Yeah, no, 100%. Give him my number because
that's huge.
And then I can put him in touch with my guy. Maybe we could just do a Zoom call.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
We could set up a Zoom or something like that.
That's beautiful. Well, you made it through your first podcast.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Wasn't as bad as you thought, right?
Yeah, nothing crazy to go viral. You know what I'm saying? So
no, you're not going to go viral. No,
I kept all the other stories out, So I know a lot of guys were nervous when I was telling them going on the podcast. What are you going to talk about? I'm like, no, man.
We kept it tame. But no, thanks. And I'll definitely put this up. I put it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you want to send me a picture that I can use, send me a picture that I can use, and I'll put that up for sure. And then I'll text you the links. It's on all the platforms, but most people listen on Spotify or iTunes.
Yeah, I joined Spotify, and
so I'll text you the link, and then you can text it to all your friends.
All right. Cool.
And then it goes on Dave Schuman. I partner with him. His YouTube channel has 1 million followers.
Yeah,
so we need to get
Dave involved in the recruitment process, man.
Believe me, we talked about it.
Jersey.
We talked about it.
I get so upset. I'm like, Dave,
we talked about it.
Coaching all these kids, man, and they're not going to UConn.
We talked about it. I said, Mike is going to talk to Mora, and I said, Dave is a resource. Dave knows every player, every coach, every contact in the state, and you're not using him.
Not just in the state, but what he's done with his business,
his business all over the country.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I do. Because I got mad. Yeah, I
get frustrated. Like, come on, man.
I said the exact same thing. So I know that Mike is talking to Mora and Benedict, the athletic director. So whoever recruits Jersey is going to get Dave involved more because Dave has all the contacts with the coaches, the parents, and the kids. And like you said, that'll make the difference. But we're going in the right direction. And I definitely think we're going to make a bowl game this year, and that will get us into a conference.
Definitely, man.
But again, you were the leading rusher for a while. It was a pleasure watching you play. Thank you so much, Wilbur, for coming on Husky Talk. Husky Talk.
Great. Shout out to Coach Martin, man. God bless him.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him too. R.I.P. to him as well. I also have to say thank you to Green Street Trust International. They're our newest sponsor. Rennell Jump and his team work on protection through asset management, and they have strategy sessions for tax reductions. Go to his calendar at calendly.com/greenstreettrust.com to schedule a strategy session today with Rennell Jump.
So Rennell Jump, that's like, so another running back, right?
RC was the running back. Rennell was a D lineman.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Rennell's his cousin. He was a defensive lineman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I remember him because these guys look like running backs. Like,
yes. He was shorter. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
He's one of those guys who was like, man, if I was like that, ooh.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love watching him run the rock, man. You know.
Great.
Yeah. There's a guy, Kevin Wesley, who was built like that. These guys were stocky.
Yeah, they're low to the ground. Physical.
Yeah, low to the ground. Yes.
So thank you again. This is Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them back at life.